Have you ever answered this question in an interview? What are your salary expectations? And then the interviewer suddenly became quiet, wrote something down, and never called you back? The truth is, many candidates are rejected because of one simple mistake. They ask for too much, they ask for too little, or they say, any salary is okay. They think they're being polite, but interviewers hear something completely different. They hear, this person doesn't know their value. This person didn't prepare. This person may leave soon. And here's the scary part. You can be qualified for the job, have good English, have good experience, and still lose the opportunity because of one answer about money. So today, I'm going to show you the answers that make candidates get rejected, the answers that make candidates sound professional, and at the end of this lesson, you'll know exactly how to answer this question with confidence. So stay until the end, because this may be the reason your interviews haven't been successful. Let's begin. Most people think this question is about money. Actually, it's about value. When interviewers ask, "What are your salary expectations?" many candidates immediately feel nervous. Some people think, if I ask for too much, they won't hire me. Others think, if I ask for too little, I might lose money. And many people simply freeze because they don't know what to say. But here's something important. Interviewers are usually not trying to trick you. They're trying to understand you. They want to know, do you understand your skills? Do you know your market value? Did you prepare for this interview? Can you communicate professionally about difficult topics? Because in the workplace, talking about money is normal. Talking about your value is normal. Professional people can discuss salary calmly and confidently. So this question is not only about numbers, it's also about confidence, preparation, and professionalism. Let's look at 3 answers that often destroy interviews. Bad answer number 1. Interviewer asks, "What are your salary expectations?" Candidate says, "Any salary is okay. I really need this job." At first, this answer sounds humble. Many people say this because they're afraid. Maybe they've been unemployed for a long time. Maybe they really need money. Maybe they've been rejected many times and don't want to lose another opportunity. If that's you, you're not alone. A lot of candidates say this. But unfortunately, interviewers hear something very different. They hear, "I don't know my value. I don't believe in my skills. I'll accept anything." This sounds desperate. It tells the interviewer, I have no confidence in my value. And confidence matters, because companies want employees who trust their own abilities. If you don't believe in your value, why should the company believe in it? Remember, being humble is good. Being desperate is not. You can be grateful for an opportunity and still respect your own value. Next is bad answer number 2. Candidate says, "I want $100,000. Interviewer asks, "Why?" Candidate says, "Because that's what I deserve." This answer creates a different problem. Now the candidate sounds arrogant. The issue is not the number. Maybe $100,000 is reasonable. Maybe your skills are worth even more. The problem is the explanation. There is no research, no evidence, no flexibility, no professional reasoning. Imagine going to a store and asking, "Why is this product expensive?" And the answer is, "Because I think it's worth that much." Would that convince you? Probably not. The same thing happens in interviews. Companies want to hear your thinking. They want to know, did you research the market? Do you understand the role? Can you explain your expectations professionally? Professional candidates don't simply throw out a number. They explain it. For example, based on my experience and my research on similar positions, I'm looking for a salary in the range of. That sounds calm. That sounds prepared. That sounds professional. Confidence without explanation can sound like arrogance, but confidence with preparation sounds like leadership. And finally, bad answer number 3. Candidate says, I have no idea. This answer is very common, especially among beginners, recent graduates, people changing careers, or people who feel nervous during interviews. You might think, I don't want to say the wrong number, so you say nothing. But interviewers may hear something else. They may think, this person didn't prepare. This person didn't research the company. This person doesn't understand the position. This sounds unprepared because professional candidates prepare before the interview. They research, they compare salaries, they understand the industry. They have at least a general range in mind. You don't need to know the perfect number. Nobody expects that. But you should show that you have done your homework. Preparation shows professionalism, and professionalism creates trust. Remember, the company is not only evaluating your skills, they're evaluating your judgment and professionalism. They're asking, can this person prepare? Can this person communicate difficult topics respectfully? Can this person understand their own value? Because if you can talk about salary professionally, you can probably handle other professional conversations too. So the next time someone asks, what are your salary expectations? Don't panic. Don't sound desperate. Don't sound arrogant, and don't sound unprepared. Take a breath, remember your value, do your research, and communicate with confidence. Because this question is not really about money. It's about whether you understand what you bring to the table. And people who know their value, prepare well, and communicate professionally always leave a stronger impression in interviews. So, how can you answer this question professionally? The good news is, you don't need perfect English. You don't need complicated vocabulary, and you don't need to know the exact salary number immediately. You simply need a formula, a very simple formula. I call it research plus range plus flexibility. Let's learn it. This formula can make you sound calm, professional, and confident, even if you're nervous inside. Let's look at each step. Step 1, research. Before every interview, do some research. Many candidates skip this step. They apply for dozens of jobs. They prepare answers to interview questions, but they never check the salary range. Then when the interviewer asks, what are your salary expectations? They panic. Maybe you've experienced this before. Your heart starts beating faster, you don't know what number to say, you worry that you'll say too much or too little, and suddenly you lose confidence. That's why research matters. Research gives you confidence because you're not guessing anymore. You're making an informed decision. You can say, I've researched similar positions in this industry. This sentence sounds simple, but it tells employers something important. It tells them, I prepare, I do my homework, I take this opportunity seriously. Professional people prepare before important conversations, and interviews are important conversations. Remember, confidence doesn't come from speaking perfect English. Confidence comes from preparation. Now let's move to the second step. Give a range. Many candidates think, I need one perfect number. Actually, you don't. A salary discussion is a conversation, not a test. That's why giving a range often works better. For example, I'm looking for a salary between $45,000 and $55,000 per year. A range sounds professional. A range sounds reasonable. And most importantly, a range shows flexibility. One exact number often sounds rigid. Imagine this situation. The interviewer asks, what are your salary expectations? And you say, $50,000. Nothing else. No explanation, no flexibility. It can make the conversation difficult. The employer may think, will this person negotiate? Will this person be difficult to work with? Can this person adapt? But when you provide a range, the conversation feels different. You sound open, you sound collaborative, you sound easier to work with, and employers like that. Because companies don't only hire skills, they hire people. People who can communicate, people who can discuss difficult topics professionally, people who can work together to find solutions. A range communicates all of these things. Now let's move to the third and final step. Step 3. Show flexibility. This step is very powerful, and many candidates forget it. After giving your range, say, "But I'm open to discussing the overall compensation package." This sentence can completely change the conversation because salary is only one part of a job. Maybe the company offers great training, health benefits, bonuses, flexible schedules, career growth opportunities, professional development, a supportive team. Sometimes these things matter too. When you show flexibility, you sound mature, you sound professional, you sound confident. Because confidence doesn't mean I refuse to change my number. Confidence means I understand my value and I'm willing to have a professional discussion. This tells employers, I know my value, but I'm also willing to work with you. And that's exactly what many employers want. Someone who understands their worth, but can still communicate respectfully and cooperate with others. Now let's put everything together.
What are your salary expectations?
I've researched similar positions in this industry. Based on my experience and qualifications, I'm looking for a salary between $45,000 and $55,000 per year. However, I'm open to discussing the overall compensation package and learning more about the responsibilities of this role.
That's a reasonable answer. Can you explain how you determined that range?
Certainly. I considered my previous experience, my skills, and the average salaries for similar positions in this area.
Excellent. Thank you.
Did you notice something? Jane never sounded desperate. Jane never sounded arrogant. Jane never sounded nervous. Instead, Jane sounded calm, and calm communication creates trust. Even if you feel nervous inside, you can still sound professional outside, because professionalism is not about having no fear. It's about knowing how to communicate clearly despite your fear. Today, you learned something very important. When interviewers ask, "What are your salary expectations?" they are not only asking, "How much money do you want?" They are actually asking, "Do you understand your professional value?" Never say, "Any salary is okay. I have no idea. Just pay me whatever you want." Because these answers make you sound desperate or unprepared. Instead, say, "I've researched similar positions in this industry. I'm looking for a salary between, but I'm open to discussing the overall compensation package." Simple English, professional English, confident English. Because sometimes you don't lose a job because of your skills. You lose it because you don't know how to communicate your value. If you enjoyed today's lesson, like this video. Comment below, what salary question makes you feel the most nervous? And don't forget to subscribe to Focus English with Cece for more job interview and workplace English lessons. I'm Cece, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye, everyone.